Governor of the state, His Excellency Willie Obiano, who's been standing by waiting for us. Thank you so much for joining us today on the program.
Thank you, Olumide, for having me.
Let's begin with the easing of the lockdown restrictions. What informed this?
Well, one of the ways to transmit COVID-19 is by moving people around. And therefore, when there were challenges in Lagos and other places, we felt that the best thing to do to prevent this disease from entering Anambra was to lock down. So we locked down the borders. They still remain locked down,
How confident is the state government that there are no more cases?
Well, let me tell you, Olumide, that from February, we were very prepared for this pandemic. We started with the state-of-the-art facilities, bed facilities that we have. A lot of pictures I'm sure you've seen, 250 of them at the NYC complex. We have a total of 120 in both Umweri General Hospital and Ekulobe General Hospital, then 10-bed capacity in Aguleri, then the most modern state-of-the-art isolation center, but we prefer to call it prevention center, 22-bed capacity in Onitsha General Hospital. That was actually where the index case stayed and was properly treated, and in 1 week he recovered fully and tested 2 negatives before we released him. So we're quite able and capable and ready for this element.
The borders are not affected by the easing of restrictions and the borders remain shut. What measures are in place to ensure there's no breach and people don't get in illegally?
Yes, we had some initial challenges. The Operation Kuchapu 2, those guys that used to fight criminals, they are the guys are drafted to this attack. The mixture of police, army, navy, NDLA, and what have you, they are all on the border. We have 5 major borders in Anambra State, and they are fully manned. We're also sending some of our political appointees to that place, day and night. The nurses are also there to check and what have you. Ambulances stationed, So we only allow essential things to come in, fuel, food items, and what have you,
Okay, now, can you tell us about the go-ahead for religious activities to begin, as well as the opening of food and drug markets, with the caution that you gave that everyone must adhere to the rules, which informed the meeting with the leadership of the markets today? What was the outcome?
Well, let me start with what we did with the food markets. When we had a total lockdown, that lasted for 2 weeks. We felt that people were required to buy food items, so we relaxed the food markets and the drug markets. So the food markets and drug markets are doing business, the way they were doing before that, but maintaining social distancing, covering of face masks, washing of hands and what have you, But beyond that, we've tried to do some other restrictions. That's why we call the traders in the 63 markets that we have today, their leaders, to discuss with them how best to reopen the markets. So we did agree that the markets will reopen on Monday, this coming Monday, but it will not be business as usual. Each of those markets have a task force, COVID-19 task force. Between now and Saturday, those teams should of the secretary to the state government, fully briefed. It's only those markets that we are satisfied that will be COVID-19 compliant when we reopen them that we are going to reopen on Monday. And the meeting went very well. And what we're trying to do is to let the traders have ownership of this initiative. Wearing of face masks is compulsory in Anambra State now. And if you're caught not wearing face masks in Anambra, you'll be arrested.
Finally, very quickly, we've seen the smiles on the faces of the people who are enjoying the palliatives that the state government has preferred. Awka South also have received. What about the other parts of Anambra State yet to receive palliatives?
Well, first, we are doing things within our means. As we speak, we've not received any assistance from anybody, not from the federal government, not from anybody yet, you know. But the state government, in its wisdom, decided to first take care of the elderly from 70 years and above. So all the local governments, 181 of them, received 200 bags of rice each to be distributed to them. Some tin tomatoes and vegetable oil and what have you. So this time around we focused on the youths, because they are also very vulnerable in this circumstance. So we're giving each of the 181 communities 400 bags of rice, to distribute to the youths, and they selected the youths in the environment. As we proceed, I've always been taking care of the civil servants. They've all gotten their pay already, and they've not gone to work in over 1 month. So we're doing well. We'll get across to everybody very soon.
Thank you so much for your time. The Executive Governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, thank you for joining us on News Across Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you very much.